you guys ready for the Easter egg hunt? Woo! All right, I've got my Easter bunny here with us to play. Easter bunny, are you ready for an Easter egg hunt? Awesome. Here's what we're gonna do. The Easter bunny is gonna hide some chocolate eggs all over this room. And I'm gonna have 1 minute to find as many eggs as I can. And then we have a special guest coming on to play as well. Kelsey will then come and do the same thing, and at the end we will see who was able to find more eggs in the shortest amount of time. Ready? Let's go! Ready, set, go! Found one. I found 3. There's 5. Thanks for your help, Easter Bunny. Okay, Kelsey, ready for your turn?
Yeah. What? No.
All right, head outside. We'll hide the eggs. Done. Okay, Kelsey, come back in. All right, 1 minute. In 3, 2, 1, go! Done! All right, so I got 12 in my round. How many did you get, Kelsey?
I have not counted.
Oh, let's count.
What? Oh, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Oh, Kelsey is the winner! Woo, woo! Thanks for playing, Kels. Happy Easter! Hey Hey, we are so excited that we're celebrating Easter this weekend.
Super excited. So fun.
Just fun all around. So many fun things to do and people to talk to and celebrate with and all the amazing things that come with Easter weekend. It's awesome. So we hope that you guys are having an amazing Easter weekend as well.
Yep.
Maybe that looks like family dinner together. Maybe
you're seeing some friends in the park.
Yeah, maybe
doing an Easter egg hunt in the park.
Easter egg hunt.
Well, maybe you did one at home this morning.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Horizon Kids Sunday vlog, Easter special. If you are here for the first time and you haven't seen this before, my name is Carly.
And I'm Jacob. And that was Kelsey in the video before.
It was. And we often have some of our other leaders, our Horizon Kids leaders on to have some fun with us. And yeah, we're just so glad you're checking out the YouTube channel. So why not go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you aren't already, because we have videos that come out every week.
Yep.
And other fun things that you'll get to see and you'll be notified about if you're subscribed.
If this is their first time, Carly, what else can they find on our YouTube channel?
What else can they find? Well, on Saturdays, we post a really fun video called The So-and-So Show, which is goofy and fun and also great for learning some Bible stories. And
yeah, I think they talked all about Easter yesterday as well.
They did. So go check that out after this if you're looking for something else to watch.
Nice. What else can they watch, Carly?
You can find some of our older videos. We did 2 seasons of Minecraft Madness.
So fun.
Where a few of us leaders,
K-Monty and Johnny Boy.
Shout out. We got together and most of us for the very first time learned how to play Minecraft. And our mission was to build a Horizon Kids castle. And
or as I would say, castle.
Yeah, we're
still going, but you should check it out because it's pretty funny. We
worth
die a lot.
We do
in the first season.
It's pretty funny if you want to have a good laugh.
Some would say.
If you are a Minecraft expert, you will find it hilarious how bad we are. So
yeah, but we have tons of fun videos on our channels. You should totally check out some of those other ones.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Totally.
Awesome. And
tell a friend.
Yeah.
Let somebody else know, maybe in your class or on a sport team that you're part of, whatever that looks like, cousins, someone you're meeting up in the park with. Tell someone that you watch this every week and you love it and it's fun, and share it so that that person can join in on the fun, maybe hear something really cool about Jesus that they've never heard before. And we just want everyone to get in on the fun.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Like that.
Like this fun. And you guys probably don't have Instagram or social media, but you should get your parents to tag us in a photo of you, maybe with you watching the vlog, with you just posing with us on a paused screen or something. Just tag us. We want to know that you're watching and we'd love to see you. And that'd be a cool way for it to kind of be two-way.
Because Horizon Kids has an Instagram account, which is at _ Horizon Kids. And if your parents aren't following them already, you should follow that account because that's where we post announcements about videos and events and stuff like that. And it's where you can tag us to let us know that you're watching.
Awesome. Well, now it's time for
birthday shout-outs!
So we do this every week?
We do.
And if you're a newer watcher, or maybe this is your first time watching, get your parents to email Carly at horizonchurch.ca and we will mention you on your birthday.
Yeah.
Super fun.
We love celebrating birthdays.
We love birthdays.
At Horizon Kids.
So celebrating.
We do. So let's get to it because we've got a bunch of kids.
A bunch.
To celebrate for birthdays this week. First of all, Lucas turned 11 this week. Happy birthday, Lucas.
Happy birthday, Lucas. So good. Also, just turned 9, we have Melissa.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
So good. Who's next, Carly?
Well, also turns 9, but today, Josiah.
So good. Happy birthday, Josiah. And next up, we have the incredible Caden, who turns 10 today.
Today as well.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That's exciting. Next up, Carly.
Mackenzie is turning 12.
Wow. There are a lot of birthdays this week. That's so exciting. Happy birthday, Mackenzie.
Happy birthday, Mackenzie.
Next up, we have Ty, who is turning 10 this coming week.
Yep.
That's so exciting.
And last but certainly not least, Naomi also turns 10 today.
So many birthdays today.
Yeah, her and Caden have the exact same birthday. They're both turning 10 on the same day.
Whoa.
What? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Both born 2011.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday to all those people we just mentioned. If you know those names that we said and you're like, oh, I know that person. I've been to church with them before, or I go to school with them, or you know them somehow, make sure you connect with them somehow.
Yep.
Give them a call, drop by their house, send them a card, make them feel really special on their birthday.
Yep. Buy them a whole birthday cake. You should do that. Just drop it off at their house.
That'd be amazing.
That would be surprising. Yeah. And especially if like a bunch of people did that. Wouldn't that be funny?
You just get
like 5 birthday cakes.
That'd be incredible. Great tips.
Great tips from the Sewards.
Now we're gonna move on to talk about our theme, and it is a new
theme,
month.
And so we get a new month.
It's a new month, so we're talking about a new theme. And what is our theme this month, Jacob?
Our theme this month, Carly, is reconnect, build the bridge.
That's right. And all month long, we are gonna be focusing on peace.
Which is proving
you
care
more
about
each
other
than
winning an
argument.
I got an extra one.
You did.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're talking all about peace. Last month was all about patience. And peace is another fruit of the Spirit, just like we talked about patience was, which means a fruit of the Spirit means that if you have the Holy Spirit in your heart, guiding you, helping you out, then that means that these fruits of the Spirit are things that people will see in your life.
That's good. That's cool.
Just because you have the Holy Spirit in you. So peace is another one of those things people are gonna see that, wow, that person is really peaceful and they care more about other people than they do about winning an argument or getting what's best for them.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Cool. And the Bible verse we're looking at all month is Romans 14, verse 19, which says, "So let us do all we can to live in peace, and let us work hard to build up one another."
So today's bottom line to start us off with this theme is God made peace with us.
Awesome.
Such a great way to start off the month with Easter, talking about how ultimately we can live a life of peace and just live with that in our hearts because God was the first one to extend that gift to us. He made peace with us by sending Jesus to us. And we're gonna get a little more into that and the whole Easter story, which is just amazing. We're gonna talk about that after we watch our Bible story video, and then we'll see you after that.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jacob, and I've got something very important to say.
Happy Easter!
Get it!
Easter is one of my favorite days of the year because one, jelly beans. And most importantly, God pulled off the biggest miracle in history, and he showed the world how to make peace. Peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. And on Easter, we celebrate how God made peace with us. They should call it Peaster. Or maybe not. Anyway, you're probably thinking, why would God need to make peace with me? I mean, we're not in an argument. Well, that's a long story, a really long story. To answer that, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. It's like this. People, you get it? People, beep, 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 beep. People were really close to God. And then something happened, something bad. And it separated God from the people. God's friendship with us was broken and something had to be done. But don't worry, God had a plan, and you'll find out all about God's plan in today's story, the greatest story ever told. The story of Easter! Woo! Yeah, Easter! Yeah, Easter! Jelly beans! God's plan! Okay, one more jelly bean. I gotta save these for later. One more. That one was popcorn flavored.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the entire Bible.
In the beginning, God created a magnificent paradise, and everything in it was good. He created water and land and plants and trees and birds and fish and animals. And then, from the very dust of the earth, God created a man called Adam. He created a woman called Eve. They were the first two people on earth, made in God's image, living peacefully in paradise. Adam and Eve were friends with God, but then they made a terrible choice. God had given Adam and Eve one rule.
You must not eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you do, you will certainly die.
But the temptation was too great for Adam and Eve. They broke God's rule, and what was once a paradise became a broken world. People started telling lies.
It was the woman you put here with me. She made me eat it.
Brother fought against brother.
No!
Selfishness spread through generations. When there had been peace in the garden, now there was pain and sin and death separating people from their Creator. But God had a plan to make peace once again with the people He loved so much. Hundreds of years after Adam and Eve broke His rule, God chose a man named Abraham and said,
All nations on earth will be blessed because of you. Look up at the sky. Count the stars if you can. That's how many children will be born into your family.
So Abraham had a son, Isaac, and Isaac grew up to have two sons of his own, Jacob and Esau. And those two sons had children of their own. Jacob, who God renamed Israel, he himself had 12 sons. So God had given Abraham a huge family just like He promised. But God's people, the Israelites, were still lost and broken, separated from Him. They still did not have peace. They didn't have peace when God rescued them from slavery in Egypt, when God led them through the Red Sea to escape their enemies.
Okay, great. But what are we supposed to eat out here in the desert? Sand?
The nation of Israel didn't have peace when God gave them a new law.
These commandments are hard. We want a king like all the other nations.
They didn't even get peace when God gave them a king.
The king's laws are no fair. We want a new God, like all the other nations.
Nope, nothing gave God's people lasting peace. They were still lost and broken and separated from God for thousands of years. But God had not forgotten the promise He made to Abraham.
All nations on earth will be blessed because of you.
God still had a plan to show the people just how much He cared for them. He knew this broken world would never be able to rescue itself, so God made a way. God sent His Son, Jesus, to bring peace on earth once and for all. Jesus grew up and He taught people love and compassion, forgiveness and grace. He healed the sick and befriended the outcasts. He saw what was wrong and made it right. He loved the world and its people so deeply, he gave his life on a cross to pay for the sins of the whole world.
Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.
In Colossians, the Apostle Paul tells us God made peace through Christ's blood, through his death on the cross. When Jesus chose to give up his life, he paid the cost of every sin ever committed and every sin that had yet to be committed. People no longer had to be separated from God. But in the 3 dark days immediately following Jesus' death, his followers didn't understand all of that yet. They huddled in the dark, afraid that they too might be arrested or even killed.
Who's there?
Early on the morning of the 3rd day, Mary Magdalene arrived at the home where the disciples were staying.
They have taken the Lord out of the tomb. We don't know where they have put him.
The disciples stared at each other in shock. Then, Peter and John lunged for the door. They raced each other all the way back to the tomb where Jesus had been placed.
The tomb really is empty.
There are the linen cloths they wrapped him in.
Peter and John returned home, still uncertain and confused. And Mary Magdalene, who had followed them, stayed behind in the garden. And as she wept, she noticed a man standing nearby. And at first, she thought he was the gardener.
Sir, did you carry Jesus away? Tell me where you put him.
Mary.
The instant the man spoke, Mary Magdalene knew immediately who he was. It was Jesus, alive again.
Teacher!
Overjoyed, Mary returned to the disciples to share the incredible news.
I have seen the Lord!
It was true. Jesus had come back from the dead. He's more powerful than sin, more powerful than death. And through him, we can have peace with God and work toward peace with others, as God intended from the very beginning.
So it's like this. All of history, every moment of God's story led up to the life, death, and resurrection of God's Son, Jesus. Sin separated people from God. That was a problem that we couldn't fix. So God sent his Son, Jesus. And after Jesus' death, he beat sin. And after that, he beat death itself. So I guess you could say that Jesus was kind of like a bridge between people and God. That made it possible for us to reconnect with God. The Apostle Paul once wrote, God was pleased to bring all things back to himself. God made peace through Christ's blood by his death on the cross. Because of Jesus, we can be close to God again. We're at peace. Jesus is alive, and he's made a bridge that will last forever. So, here's the one thing to remember today. God made peace with us. Remember that this Easter. Remember that every day. Really think about what Jesus did for you and tell God how grateful you are. And don't just keep it to yourself either. Share the peace of God with others by telling them about Jesus or by loving them like Jesus loves us. I'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, it's great to see you, and I'm so excited to begin another month together and to be able to celebrate Easter together. Our theme for this month is Reconnect, Build the Bridge. So to start today's message off, check out these bridges from all over the world. Okay, this right here is known as the Pearl Bridge, and it is the longest suspension bridge in the world. It's about 1.25 miles long. That's a long bridge, right? But what about one of the most recognizable bridges in the world? I think it's probably this one, right? The Golden Gate Bridge. It's pretty iconic. I think we can all kind of recognize it from pictures or TV shows or something like that. Here's another one that you might recognize. Does anyone know which bridge this one is? It's not the London Bridge, although it is in London, and that's where you can go to visit this bridge. But it's actually called the Tower Bridge in England, a pretty famous one as well. Okay, how about the tallest bridge? That would be this one. This is the Royal Gorge Bridge in Cannon City, Colorado. It runs about 1,178 feet above the Arkansas River below. That's almost a quarter of a mile high. So many really cool bridges, right? Think for a moment about these bridges, all of them. What do each of them have in common with each other? They connect one side to the other. One state to another state, or one side of a river to the other side of the river. They connect things together. Okay, so at this point, you might be asking yourself, what is going on here? I thought this was Easter. Why are we looking at all of these bridges? Where are the painted Easter eggs and the chocolate bunnies? What does this have to do with Easter Sunday? I mean, sure, bridges are cool and all, I guess, but what do bridges and connecting have to do with Easter? Of course, you may not be asking yourself any of those questions, and that's fine too. Today is an incredibly special day here at Horizon Church. It's one of our favorite days of the whole year. And believe it or not, Easter and bridges have more in common than you might think. In order to find out why, we need to head to the Bible. Remember, the Bible includes all sorts of stories and ideas and poems and different things like that written by people who experienced God and were inspired to write them down for us to experience God too. So in the Bible story video that we just watched, we saw the whole story of God's love for us, from the start to the end. This is why we get so excited about celebrating Easter every year. We remember how incredible God's love is and how He loved us so much that He gave His one and only Son, Jesus, to die so that if we believed in Him, we no longer had to suffer because of the bad things we do. Instead, we can live with God forever. So sin, which is the bad things that we do that God doesn't want us to do, that's what separates us from God. Because He's perfect and sin isn't. So they can't exist together. That puts us on one side and God on the other side, with no way across. And God wanted to fix that and make a way. So the solution was Jesus. He sent Jesus, who was perfect, to live just like you and me, and then die even though He didn't deserve to. Then Jesus came back to life and He conquered death in the greatest miracle of all time. And by doing this, Jesus became the bridge that connected us to God. Now, sometimes it's hard to hear that we are imperfect and we do bad things. But I think if you really look at yourself, you know that you do bad things sometimes. You tell a lie, you say something mean, you disobey your parents. We're human and we make mistakes. I mean, I know I do. But the incredible thing is that even though we do these bad things, Jesus still made a way for us. And now we don't have to be perfect people because Jesus did that for us. What a relief that is. Because of Jesus, we can live in peace. We can trust that God has made a way for us to come back to Him. We've seen that God has been working throughout history to bring all His people back to Him. And Jesus is the ultimate way for us to have lasting peace with God. Because God gave Jesus, we can trust Him. And because Jesus rose again from the dead, we know that He truly has the power to save us. Jesus is the bridge, the one who reconnects us back to God. And hopefully, the next time you see a bridge on a road trip or a walk across town, you'll remember how much God loves you and how He sent Jesus to make it good between you and God. So as we finish up, I want to encourage you to think about this question. Why does Easter matter? In other words, why do we celebrate Easter? What are we celebrating? What if Easter never happened? What does this day mean to you besides Easter eggs and chocolate bunnies? Talk about these things with your friends and your family as you celebrate that Jesus is alive today. And the Bible also says that the only thing that we need to do in order to accept the gift that Jesus gave us is to believe it. So, if you've never prayed a prayer where you've confessed that you believe that Jesus died and rose again to make a way for you to be in a relationship with God, I want to invite you to do that today. I want you to tell a parent or an adult or someone at home with you who you trust, tell them that you believe Jesus died for you and you want to say a prayer to confess that you believe and you want to invite him into your life. And you can pray that prayer together, and I would love to hear from you if you do that for the first time. You can pray something like this: Dear Jesus, thank you for dying on the cross in my place, for taking the bad things that I do and for removing the guilt and shame of those things. Thank you for coming back to life again and creating a way for me to reconnect with God. Thank you for being the bridge between us. Thank you for conquering death, which we celebrate on Easter. Jesus, I believe that you are the Son of God. I'm asking you to forgive me for the bad things that I do. I invite you into my life and into my heart. I want to live for you and with you forever. I love you, Jesus. In your name, amen. So like I said, if you prayed that prayer for the first time today, get an adult or an older sibling or someone in your house to connect with me and let me know, because I would love to hear about it and celebrate with you, because that is cause for celebration. Speaking of which, happy Easter, everyone. Have an amazing Easter weekend.
Thank you, Carly, for that great message and for talking about peace and building bridges. So good. Do you have some questions for us today?
We do. So we've got a few questions that we would love for you to take after you finish watching this, and with whoever it was you're watching, maybe your siblings, parents, maybe it could be around a dinner table or on a car ride or on a walk or something. Have some time, make some time to have some discussion around the message that you just heard, and it'll give you a chance to really apply what you heard to your everyday life. So we've got 3 questions.
Awesome.
The first question is, how did God make peace with us?
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah,
How did God make peace with us?
We talked about it in the message just before this, and we heard about it in the Bible story. So as a family, just talk about how God made peace and what that actually looked like in the Bible.
Cool. And next question is, why do we celebrate Easter? So we've kind of been talking about Easter all throughout today, and yesterday in the So-and-So show, we talked about Easter, but why do we celebrate Easter?
Is it just because we all really love chocolate? Something to discuss. Next question is, what changed for us when Jesus died?
Good bit of Easter story recap there.
Yeah, exactly. So once Jesus died, what was it that changed in our lives, in the people's lives at that time, and everybody's lives ever since?
Yeah. And our final question today, why is it important that the tomb was empty? That Jesus didn't stay dead?
I think that's such an important question to talk about and discuss with somebody, because sometimes when we're celebrating Easter, we forget that there's an ending to it, you know? It's sad, and on Good Friday we reflect that Jesus died, and it wasn't a good day. That was not a good day. It was sad. And sometimes we get stuck there, right? And we're just sad because of what happened. But we have to remember that 3 days later, the greatest miracle in the world took place, and Jesus actually came back to life.
So good, Carly.
So why is that important? Why is that such an important part of celebrating Easter?
So good. Well, it was great to see everyone today.
It
Happy
was.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
If this was your first time and you watched the whole way through, we love that you did that. It's
Yep.
so exciting.
So glad you're
now
here.
part of the Horizon Kids family.
Welcome to it.
It's so good. Well, we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Next Sunday.